Welcome back, Truth Seeker. November 4th, 2018. Want to talk about LeBron James' scripted win last night over the Blazers. If you follow me on Patreon, we said why that was Lock City, Blazers to beat, or not Blazers, but Lakers to beat Blazers and what the ritual was. We're going to review that, and then we're going to talk about the similar ritual with LeBron and the Lakers playing the Raptors today. Then we'll look ahead at their next two games, the Timberwolves, where the Lakers came from, Minnesota, and the next game against the Kings. King James once played his first NBA career game against the Kings. So this one's dedicated to all the people in Portland. I'm from Portland, Oregon. As a little boy, I was a Blazers fan until I realized the games were rigged. And took me about 20 years after that to figure out just how they were rigged and scripted. But I was hearing those announcers all those years growing up say, you couldn't have scripted it any better. I said, these games do look scripted. And Blazer fans should know that. I'm surprised anybody still goes to the games. I mean, they've screwed us over so many times, and that goes for a lot of cities. Small markets hardly stand a chance in the world of rig sports. We're also going to talk about the only year the Blazers ever won the championship, the 76-77 season, and what that had to do with Luke Walton, now the coach of the Lakers. These were all things we talked about before the game. So in case you're new here, we talk about the ancient practice of coding numbers into words. It's important to Freemasonry, and Freemasonry controls the world of scripted sports. I always tell people to watch out when LeBron wins with 114 points because it's always symbolic. And here we are on November 4th. We're going to get another symbolic game. But 114, right? That's the LeBron James number. Like I said, the day LeBron went to LA, July 1st, that was 114 days before the 114th World Series, and it was all but a guarantee that the Dodgers would appear in the 114th World Series, as they did. Of course, we had the Dodgers pegged for the World Series since before the season began. So here's what the ritual was last night. Last night, the Lakers came in with 118 wins against the Blazers all time. They picked up their 119th. And that was the big number. That was the indicator, because 119 is a very special number in this code. King James Bible equals 119. LeBron's got a lot of these 119 tributes in history's past. But the other thing about last night was LeBron and the Lakers had a chance to improve their record from 3-5 to 4-5. And you can look this up in history. The year that the King James Bible came out was the year that King James turned 45 years old. The King James Bible came out in 1611. King James was born in 1566. The year he turned 45, the year the King James Bible came out. This is why we liked LeBron and co. to improve to 4-5, like 45, and get the 119th win against the Blazers. And you'll notice in gematria, in case you're new here, there's 4 base ciphers. We're going to get to how those 4 base ciphers work, but we're just looking at the base ciphers here. 4 ways to translate the English language into numbers that are all based on the alphabetic order. So anyway, Holy Bible in 2 of our 4 base ciphers is 45. The first printed Bibles were Gutenberg Bibles. Gutenberg, 45. Hermetic. The knowledge in the Bible is Hermetic, 45. And if you're not noticing, Holy's 4 letters, Bible's 5 letters, 9 letters total. 45 is the 9th triangular number, meaning when you add 1 through 9, it equals 45. So there's rhyme and reason to this. In Hermeticism, numbers carry vibrations that have real-world influence. So LeBron and the Lakers improved to 4-5, getting their 119th win against Portland. That already made the game look like a lock, but then there was this riddle with Luke Walton, which we're going to get to. Also, what you should know, though, is King James, who was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian. Freemasonry was born out of Rosicrucianism. King James dropped dead at age 58 unexpectedly, right? Freemasonry, Rosicrucian, secret society, 58. A lot of words that have to do with Freemasonry sum to 58. If you're interested in this, check out my book in the description. Linked in the description of every video. Give you a big, long list of 58 in Freemasonry and what the meaning of this number is. But last night, the date of the game, November 3rd, to LeBron's upcoming birthday, was a span of 58 days. And not only that, but November 3rd, unless I forgot to put it up here. Here, I'll just show you real quick. November 3rd is the day leaving 58 days left in the year. 58. 58. So we get this big King James ritual. The numbers are all lined up. Notice LeBron, a.k.a. King James, is 33 years old. Last night they were playing in Oregon, the 33rd state. Other things you should know in our base ciphers: Bible equals 33. James equals 33. LeBron equals 33. Today he's playing on Sunday. That's another 33, the only day of the week that is. The Blazers play in the Moda Center. Used to be the Rose Garden. Moda 33. So anyway, we get this big King James Bible ritual. Perfect numbers. Talk more about the significance of it being on November 3rd, just a little bit ahead. But here's what I want to talk about with Luke Walton, the son of Bill Walton. The Portland Trail Blazers won their only championship in the 76-77 season. And that was 42 years ago. We're going to get to why that number matters so much to LeBron James. The New Testament that begins with the 42 generations to Jesus, the Savior. 42, died for your sins, 42. Never mind the 42 laws of Ma'at, where the first law is, I will not sin. Or that New Testament sums to 42. Or that New sums to 42. Anyway. Bill Walton, the father of Luke Walton, he won the Blazers' only championship in the 76-77 season. They won it over the 76ers. That's how the NBA has always mocked people. Started to look at things like that as a child. I was like, really? Over the 76ers in the 76-77 season? That seems a little funny. I grew up in the days where Michael Jordan, he could just travel all over the court. He could foul anybody. Somebody could breathe on him. It would be like they'd give him like 5 shots at the free throw line. Kidding about that, but not the traveling and the fouling and nobody could breathe on him thing. You'd watch the Blazers just stop trying to play basketball. No more defense. No more trying to make shots. Anyway, NBA has always been a joke. It's worse than the WWE. But check this out. From Luke Walton's birthday, right, which is March 28th, which is the 87th day of the year. Look at this. James 87. It's like they were born to be. And he was actually born in a leap year there, Luke Walton. So he was born on the 88th day of the year. Normally his birthday is on the 87th day of the year, but the year he was born was a leap year. King James Bible 88. Born on the 88th day. Every year he celebrates his birthday on the 87th day. Another number that gets used in a lot of LeBron rituals over the years. But check this out. From his birthday to the game was 7 months and 6 days, right? Or a full span of 7 months and 7 days. Isn't that just like 76 and 77? Like the year the Blazers won their only championship in the rig sport that is. Walton also sums to 77. Bill Walton brought it home for the Blazers in 77 before he went off to play for the Lakers in Boston. And I think he played for one other team there. But if you're not aware, the Celtics and the Lakers have won 33 of the NBA's championships over the years. Big special number there with masonry. Masonry 33, secrecy 33, order 33. But here's our 4 base ciphers. And I just want you to look at Walton, Boston, and basketball in light of the fact that Boston leads the NBA with 17 championships. NBA 17. That's using the alphabetic order. So let's come back here to our 4 base ciphers. Dark green's the alphabetic order. So W's the 23rd letter, A's the 1st, L's the 12th. We're just doing A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26th letter, 26. The next cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So W is the 23rd letter, right? But here, W's were 5 because the numerology of 23 is 2 plus 3 is 5. A is still 1. L's the 12th letter, so 12 becomes 1 plus 2 is 3. If you're not familiar with numerology, it's just where you take a bigger number and you compress it to a single digit. So like, for example, if the number was 999, you'd do 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27. And then you take 27 and go 2 plus 7 is 9. So anyway, you make each letter a single digit number you add. Right here, we have the reverse alphabetic order, where Walton is 77. You make Z1, you count back to A is 26. And the last cipher is the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. And just look at how Walton and basketball sync up. Boston and basketball lead the NBA. If you missed my work earlier this year, I said why the Cavs would get swept on June 8th. Sweep equals 68, basketball 68. A year prior, I even gave this example before it happened. I said if Game 4 would have lined up on June 8th, you could have counted on Golden State sweeping the Cavs. And sure enough, it lined up that way the next season. So, by the way, I pretty much called all those championships from the first time the Warriors and Cavs met onwards, from early or before the season even began. And I've done that for all of the world of sports because it's all scripted this way. So, think about LeBron on the Cavs. Almost every year he went to the finals, he advanced over the Raptors. And every year I was here showing how it was a King James ritual. It's why LeBron, notice just here in our two base reduction ciphers, alphabetic order with numerology, reverse alphabetic order with numerology. Our most important cipher of the base 4 ciphers is the dark blue cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. King James and Raptors both sum to 35. And King James became a Freemason the year he turned 35 years old. Think about how LeBron once fell to 3-5 in finals. And who did that? Kevin Durant, number 35, whose high school basketball coach was ritually sacrificed at that age by the numbers, which covered before on one of my prior 17 channels that have been deleted for exposing too much truth. Anyway, the other thing that's really interesting here is that King James is 55 in the reverse, and Raptors is 46 in the reverse reduction. If you're not aware of this, you can look this up. Psalm 46 in the King James Version of the Bible has a tribute to Shakespeare. The 46th word from the front of Psalm 46 is shake, and the 46th word from the back of Psalm 46 is spear, Shakespeare. If you don't know about King James, his right-hand man was Francis Bacon. A lot of people say there'd be no United States of America without Francis Bacon. You can buy these old collector stamps. Francis Bacon, responsible for the colonization scheme. He urged Queen Elizabeth I to put up the money to make the United States and its colonies a reality. So anyway, also, if you guys don't know that, King James, his son was King Charles. Cavaliers, who LeBron played for, the name Cavaliers comes from the people who supported and fought for King Charles, the son of King James. So I won people tons of money in 2016. I guaranteed the Cavs were going to win the finals before that season began. When they were down 3-1, everyone said I was dead wrong. I said, no, you're dead wrong. I said, now's the time to bet because the odds are 40-1. I said LeBron James is going to come back and he's going to win the NBA Finals on the real King James's birthday, and that's exactly what he did. They were the 33rd team, the Cavs, to be in that situation, down 3-1, the first to ever win it. And by the way, Cleveland equals 33, like LeBron, like James, like NBA Finals. Big old 33 ritual there. And I wish the channel wasn't deleted because the comments after the Cavs won were awesome. Should have seen all the excited people who literally won tens of thousands of dollars. Huge odds there, 40-1. And I told people it's a guarantee. They're coming back. It's a lock. This is the best bet of your life. 40-1. Don't miss it. And a lot of people didn't. And of course, people listened to me because I'd called a whole bunch of sports championships from 2014 up to that point. So anyway, both of these numbers relevant to King James here. 55 is a very special number. The word numerology in gematria equals 55. When you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55. When you write out Fibonacci, it sums to 55. 55 is the 10th Fibonacci numbers. 55 and 10 are numbers associated with God. And think about what LeBron James is. I mean, he's not a real God, but to a lot of people, I mean, he is their God. They worship LeBron James. They watch all his games. They hang on his every word. They're big fans. They buy all his merchandise. They know more about King James, LeBron James, than anything else in this world. And they don't realize he's just this scripted, born and bred to be puppet for this circus that we call the NBA. And I'm amazed LeBron has any fans, honestly. The guy's a total loser. You can tell that he doesn't even care. I mean, The games where he's supposed to lose, he doesn't even try. He's the worst actor there is. Doesn't even try. You know, long history of not showing up in the big moments. It's like, how can they even tout this guy as one of the greatest ever? The NBA is just such a joke. Nobody even plays defense anymore. LeBron James had the put-away dunk last night because nobody defended him. It's like the game's on the line. You're just going to let him have a free lane to the basket to dunk the ball, and now it's over. I mean, and it's always been that way. It just gets worse every year. But anyway, about that 55 thing, notice Los Angeles Lakers equals 257, the 55th prime. And LeBron's next game is against Minneapolis, where the Lakers are from. Notice Minneapolis is 55, and they'll be playing the Timberwolves, also 55. 257, the 55th prime. And by the way, Los Angeles also sums to 55. You don't see it here in the base ciphers, but this cipher right here and this cipher, they both have rules. For the 19th letter, which when you go forward is S, S is the 19th letter. So 19 is the only letter you have to reduce 2 times. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. S can be 10 or 1, you see. And when you make S 10, Los Angeles is 55. So Los Angeles Lakers, 257, the 55th prime. They came from Minneapolis. Now Minneapolis has the Timberwolves. LeBron's next game after this ritual is against the Timberwolves and then against the Kings. And when you learn this code, you can just see how all of LeBron's season's scripted. On Patreon, what we're doing this year, this is the first year I'm on Patreon. I did this for free for 5 years for everybody. But this year we got to raise some revenue. The only reason I could do it for free for 5 years is because I was paying for it myself. Ran out of money pumping out the truth. But Patreon's really inexpensive, and we're doing every single LeBron James game, every single ritual, and just documenting for an entire season how the whole thing is scripted. So LeBron can become 5-5 tonight in the Ultimate King James tribute. There's also a chance he falls to 4-6 against the Raptors. And, you know, either way, the King James tribute's there because the most special book in the King James is Psalm 46. It's the most well-known, suspicious book. That whole thing was shake and spear. But here's a little bit more about the Toronto Raptors. Again, every single year the Cavs would go to the finals. They'd advance over the Raptors because it was all about King James. Again, the Cavaliers named after King Charles, who was the son of King James. Notice King James in the base cipher, when you flip the alphabetic order around, is the exact same as Toronto Raptors. Notice Toronto Raptors is 82 as well. Like how there's 82 games in an NBA season. Pro basketball is 82 in that cipher. If the Raptors lose tonight, they'll fall to 8-2. The Lakers and King James will become 5-5. Here it is right now. Raptors 8-1, 2-1 on the road. If they become 2-2 tonight, well, let's look at both home team records. King in our most pure cipher is 23, like how LeBron wears 23. King's also 22. So it makes it a little bit tricky because King James could fall to 2-3 at home tonight. It's possible. But the Raptors could also become 2-2. This game is not as easy to call as last night's game. And that's something I want you guys to understand about decoding sports. You can see the rituals. Sometimes it's much easier to call the games than others. Yesterday, I gave people 2 winners. I said it'll be the Lakers over the Blazers and the Pacers over the Celtics. And if you bet $50 on that, you made nearly $200. So by knowing this code, it's an easy way to multiply your money. Sometimes you'll be wrong, but more often than not, you're going to hit it. And I mean, if you're smart with your gambling and you just bet modestly, and you'll build up over time, you know. Jonathan, who co-hosts my radio show sometimes, he's been using my sports picks all year. He's made thousands of dollars off the NFL, you know. So I'm here to help you guys out. I did it for 5 years for free. Now on my Patreon, it's $5 a month for all the sports content, and it's a lot of content. It's a lot. You get a lot. I love that the over-under is 237 tonight. That's the prime factorization of 42. 2 times 3 times 7 is 42. LeBron can pick up his 42nd win in the regular season against the Raptors tonight. We'll talk about that as we get there. The one thing that's scary about this, though, is that the Raptors could improve to 9-1. It's kind of like 91. That's the 13th triangular number. When you add 1 through 13, it's 91. LA equals 13. King James became a king at 13 months of age. It's why he won the championship for the Cavs in his 13th season. That's the dicey one there. Here's another good one. The Lakers are 28-15 against the Raptors. This is going to be the 44th game. 44. And that's been a big number in LeBron's career as well. Chosen one's 44, what's tattooed on his back. I still remember the first NBA Finals. I think I have it down here. Whoops. How did I get that posted 2 times? Notice Chosen one in King James is 44. I still remember the first NBA Finals between the Warriors and Cavs, which I told everybody it would be long before it happened. It was all based on the rituals happening that season. With the Warriors and Cavs, who both retired the jersey of Nate Thurman, number 42. LeBron had a season-high 42 in a big game over Golden State. That game was 98 days before the start of the NBA Finals. And 98 is an important number to the NBA. If you just write out National Basketball Association, and our most pure cipher, it's 98. LeBron has Chosen one tattooed on his back, 98. If you just flip the alphabetic order around, Chosen is also 98. So, 98 days before the start of the NBA Finals, LeBron had this symbolic game. I said, there it is. Warriors, Cavs will be your NBA Finals. It's written. It's in stone. Sure enough, 98 days later, that was the final. And you can look up the box score from the first time the Warriors and Cavs met in the finals. Game went to overtime, 98-98. 98 days after they'd last played. And I was going to tell you something else. Well, I'll just tell you right now. That game also had to do with Lupercalia, which is a festival in February, which also has this 98-44 thing going. But if you can go back and find the footage of this game, I used to have it. It's too bad they deleted my channel because I used to have all this stuff captured. At the very end of the game, the Golden State Warriors ended up winning with 108 points. Golden State Warriors equals 108. So does Oracle, where they play. They opened up this season with a 108-point win. Geometry equals 108. Steph Curry's born on Pi Day, March 14th. Klay Thompson's full name equals 314. Anyway, just understand the whole league is a father-son league. It's all scripted. LeBron James's father's Nate Thurman, who played for the Cavs and Warriors. The name Stephen means crown. Anyway, I could just go on about a million different things. The whole thing is a planned script from before these guys were even born. But if you go back and watch that game, it went to overtime, 98-98. The Warriors won it 108-100. The only 2 points scored in overtime by the Cavs were in the closing seconds. They were pretty much shut out for all of overtime. But what was hilarious is the final point scored at the end of the game, which had no meaning, was LeBron James getting a breakaway dunk. The game was over. There was no time left. There was no reason for even LeBron James to hurry his ass down the court. The game was over. There was no time. He grabbed the ball. He just ran down the court. No one even tried to defend him, and he dunked it with no time left. And the announcer just went ballistic. He goes, LeBron with 44! And I was like, God, because I already knew this code and was telling people I was all scripted like this. I was like, look at how dumb that was. There was no reason for him to do that. The game's over, and why is the announcer going ballistic that he scored his 44th points when they lost? But then because you know the code. You're like, oh, Chosen one 44, King James 44. I've already been talking about this for months now. It was a done deal. It was the finals. You just see what a joke it is when you know this code. You see how these announcers scream out these numbers oftentimes that don't make any sense, but then when you know the code, you're like, that's why the announcer said that. That's why the announcer emphasized that. So here's something else you should know. From the day LeBron joined the Lakers, July 1st, remember that date can be written 7/1. This is the Lakers' 71st season. Can also be written 1/7, like 17. NBA equals 17. The Cavs are from Ohio. Ohio is the 17th state. They were the 17th team to join the NBA. LeBron went from Ohio to the Lakers for their 71st season. Oh, yeah, here's something else about July 1st that's important. July 1st, in leap years, is the 183rd day of the year. Here's why that matters. LeBron James is 183. You see? Yes, see? So anyway, also the Lakers' next championship will be their 17th. Another thing to think about. But anyway, from July 1st to today's game, 11-4. Remember where we started? LeBron James equals 114. Came over 114 days before the start of the 114th World Series, which made it all but sure the Dodgers would be in it, as they were. From his signing to today is 127 days. Notice it's also 4 months and 4 days. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 127, and I want to show you what I pointed out in July. When LeBron and the Lakers last played each other before he became a member of the Lakers, the score was 113 to 127 in the Lakers' favor. The Lakers became a 30-36. LeBron and the Cavs became 38-28. And Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 127. Scottish equals 113. King James was a Scottish Rite Freemason. So you see how nice this score is? Plus, when you put a "the" in the front of National Basketball Association, it's also 113. Names like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are 113. If you've missed my work on the retirements of Kobe and Michael and how they were perfectly synced up in history along with the Warriors winning their record 73rd game, you got to check all that out. Steph Curry born on the 73rd day of the year, Pi Day. Pi has to do with cycles and circles. All of these rituals are tributes in time, done with the same numbers again and again. But look at this. The Cavs went down with 113, right? Look at this. From this game, which was the 66th game for both seasons, which we'll get to, from this game to the signing of LeBron was 113 days. Span of 113, right? How perfect's that? How perfect's that? But for both teams, it being their 66th game, that also matters because with the alphabetic order, LeBron's 66, Lakers is 66, LeBron James is 66. The Lakers last year ended up winning 35 games before getting King James in our most pure cipher. King James, 35. See how that works? You see how that works. So, all a big script, all part of an ongoing script. Oh, yeah, the Lakers also got their 30th win in this game. 113 is the 30th prime. So here we are now. We're on November 4th. It's LeBron James Day. It's the day leaving 57 days left in the year. Remember when LeBron scored 57 last year for the Cavs, 57 days from his birthday? Today, that span of 57 from his birthday, Scottish Rite equals 57. King James was a Scottish Rite Freemason. LeBron James probably is too. What's interesting about today's game is it's the 22nd game between the Raptors and the Lakers in LA. The 22nd, we talked about how King equals 22. The Lakers could get their 16th win, like how they've won 16 championships. By the way, 16 is one of two numbers when written out that has gematria of 33. The other's 90. And Bible equals, Holy Bible with the alphabetic order is 90, like how Bible's 33. Big biblical number. But 22nd game between the Lakers and the Raptors in LA, that is. And in the regular season, LeBron is 41-10 against the Raptors. Now, the one thing about him possibly getting his 11th loss, I should mention, is 66, where Lakers equals 66, LeBron 66, LeBron James 66, the King James Bible 66 books in length. King James was born in 1566. 66 is the 11th triangular number. We're in the 11th month right now. But at the same time, LeBron can get his 42nd win. Big number with his career. LeBron James equals 42. Freemason, 42. Nate Thurmond, number 42, had his number retired with the Warriors and the Cavs. LeBron James, well, first the Warriors won the finals over the Cavs. Then the Cavs beat the Warriors. LeBron scored 27 points. That was the 103rd game of the Cavs season where they beat the when the Cavs beat the Warriors in the finals, it was their 103rd game of the season, which is the 27th prime. LeBron scored 27 points. Nate Thurmond dropped dead 27 days later, and we call that the old ritual number. Ritual's 27, but thinking of the Bible, the New Testament, which begins with the 42 generations to Jesus, it's 27 books in length, and it begins with Matthew. You know, math is the key word there. Matthew begins with the 42 generations to Jesus, also 66. The New Testament ends with the 66th book. Notice New Testament is 42 and 66 too. It's also 159 and 165, like Scottish Rite. Who do you think tampered with the Bible? Who do you think? Starts with the 42 generations, the big old Freemason number. So anyway, just want to show you how scripted it all is. You know, called a lot of games in our history knowing this code before they happen, but it's not a perfect science. Called plenty of things incorrectly, close but incorrect, close but no cigar, but more often than not, we're definitely right. And again, it's too bad Google deleted my work because I had years and years of proof of calling championships from before seasons began to early in the season. And for people who've been following me for all along, they know it's true. That's why they're still here. But every single day you can use this code to see through Rig Sports, and you can see it because all of the world of sports is scripted this way. English is the language of the world. Not by accident. Spread by the same gang that did this. I should also mention one thing in light of all the 44 we were talking about. Portland has the gematria of 44. Rip City, 44. Rip City is also 89, like King James. Like how there's 89 books, or chapters, excuse me, 89 chapters in the New Testament. Religion equals 89. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number. And, you know, the gospel, did I say the gospel a second ago? I meant to. The gospel's 89 chapters. The New Testament's 260 chapters. But the gospel, the story of Jesus, is 89 chapters. The 11th Fibonacci numbers are numbers of God. Jesus 11. You see? So anyway, we'll be watching for the rituals. We'll be laughing at the box scores. Last night on November 3rd, 11-3, the Lakers-Blazer game, at the halftime, the score was 57-56, right? 57-56, 113 points. Scottish Rite, 57. King James Bible was also 56 in our most pure cipher. King James Bible ritual. They ended up picking up the 119th win, all perfectly by the numbers through the whole game. Hey, you know what else? Let's see what the box score was. I still remember. I haven't even looked at the box score from last night, but if you go back and look at the opener for the Lakers against the Blazers shot 44 for 100 from the field. Portland's 100 with the alphabetic order, also 44. And notice Rip City's the same thing. Rip City's 44 and 100. Blazers shot 44 for 100 from the field, and I'm telling you, you can look at every single sports game. You can look at the box score. You can look at the final score. If you know the numbers that are relevant to that team, that city, you can see how they scripted it. So hold on. I haven't even done this. Let's just close out here. If you guys missed my video on the Cavs' one and only win, how that was a tribute to LeBron, you better go back and check that out too. Some people say, what about the buzzer beater, Zach? How do you script a buzzer beater? It's because they're using technology. We've been exposing this for years. Check out Bo Bullard of the Harlem Globetrotters and his shots from helicopters and fast-moving planes. This can only be done with technology. We're in the age of technology. So here it was. LeBron had 28 in the game. What does that correspond with? Chosen. LeBron drops the 28. He's the chosen one. Let's see here. Oh, I don't want those commercials. In a recent video I did, they put a copyright on it, but allowed the video to stay up because a commercial was playing in the background. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So there it is. You see it? The Lakers made 45 buckets. We were talking about how they were going to improve to 4 and 5. It was all about the Holy Bible. King James again had the Holy Bible made in his name the year he turned 45, 1611. And the Lakers picked up their 119th win. Like King James Bible with the alphabetic order is 119. So, okay, so there's one thing. 86 I call the symbol number. The word symbol, triangle, pyramid, they're all 86. Let's see. The Lakers starters had 63 points on the 307th day of the year. That's what November 3rd is. 307 is the 63rd prime. LeBron shot 45% from the field, 9 of 11 at the stripe. Gotta love that. 9 of 20 is 45%. Yeah. 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Something else. Something else. Let's see here. The Blazers do. The Blazers made 44 buckets. Not quite as bad as the first game. They were 44 for 100, which was perfect. But 44 is good too. You know, we just talked about it. Bowing down to the chosen one. Portland 44, Rip City 44. Chosen one. King James also has that 44 like we went over. So, like I say, every game scripted from the final score to the bottom. Oh, I love that too. 6 of 35 from three-point field. That's comical right there. 35%. The Lakers came into the game 3 and 5. They won 35 games last year. And King James became a Freemason at age 35. Just too much here in the scripting. $84 points for the starters for the Blazers. The divisors of 44 summed to 84. And a way to verify all these things is at gematria.com, which is linked in the description of every video along with my book and a whole bunch of other helpful resources. If you type in a number, it'll tell you about it. So here's the divisors, the numbers that divide into 44, and the sum of those divisors is 84. So there's another little hidden 44 tribute. I'm sure there's more if I even look at it, but it just never fails, the old gematria. It never fails. Oh, hold up. I was looking at teams backwards. Wait, no, I wasn't. I got it. It says the Blazers, they hit 44. What did Lillard do? All righty, you guys. I got to hit the road here. I'm supposed to do a hike this morning. We got delayed, but got to hit the road. I got about 5 minutes, and I got to take off. I got to be somewhere at 11. And oh, by the way, I'll be on No More News this evening. Him and I are going to talk about the censorship going on YouTube. I'm going to try to get on a good page here and start working together. He's got the video editing skills. I got the knowledge. I'm trying to help him step his game up. So trying to collaborate and get some synergy going. Let me see if I can figure out how to get to the chat here. Oh, we got 48 likes. I don't know if that's YouTube tampering or if that's what it is. But old James, remember James 48? We're talking about all the King James rituals. Came over from Cleveland, the 48 land, where Donald Trump had his convention. Remember when Donald Trump had his convention? James 48, Cleveland 48, Donald Trump 48. And then both of them were all about the wall. Donald Trump wanted to build a wall. LeBron got a show called The Wall. And then they both ended up at the White House on the same day of the year. By the numbers. Now we're up to 54 likes. That's more like it. Krispy Kreme. I read his comments at the top. Zach is spiritually sleeping. Please look at how they put Goy. Oh, yeah, Chigozi. I covered that in last night's video. Oh, I know all about it. I know all about it, Chigozi. I was all over it last night. Let's bring the Goy awareness. One of the most Jewish states where they love to have their false flags by the numbers. They just had to come at us with the old Goy. So let me show you the way I interpreted this. Yesterday, they made sure everybody saw this who looked at this story. CNN just kept this up in their video the whole time, talking about how the shooter was a YouTube video poster, some crazy person on YouTube where they need to censor all the crazy conspiracy theorists. But look at that. I mean, are you kidding me? The skeptic will go, well, that's just yoga in reverse. Well, do you see the A up there? Because I don't. And I still remember this one right here. I still remember this one. I'll never forget this one. Let me see. July 4, Jupiter, Juno. Let's pull it up here. Oh, yeah. Here it was. Remember when the Juno probe landed on Jupiter on the 4th of July, and Google did this with their Google Doodle? Goy. You believe our lies, Goy? July 4th, 4/7, Goy. 47. Mm-hmm. The Talmud thumpers, it's their rightful place to judge and rule over and control the Goy. This was real cute by the Google crew. Google that likes to censor the truth, likes to tamper with every video that exposes Zionism. And speaking of Zionism, to connect this back to the NBA, who runs the NBA? Who runs the NBA? Guy from Jupiter. Where is he? Where is he, that guy from Jupiter? All you guys who say aliens aren't real, I got the proof right here. Have you seen this dude? Have you seen this dude right here? Where is he? I've never seen anybody that looks like this on Earth. Never once. You know. Here's the old Jupiter crew. By the way, guys, gematria goes way past sports. Look at the alphabetic order. Holiday 74. This code of letters and numbers is Masonic because it comes from Judaism. Masonry is based in Judaism. Jewish 74. It's called Gematria 74. English 74. Occult 74. Coming back to Holiday 74. Look at Independence Day in our most pure cipher. 74. How about this one? 4th of July. Could it be a coincidence? Could it be a coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so, especially when you know the Jewish history of the United States. Jewish state 139, Freemasonry 139, America 39. A good Jew will tell you that there'd be no America without the Jewish bankers who financed all the wars and the genocide and everything else, the propaganda, the sports leagues, all the things that keep us complacent with the Jewish slave state we live in. Next time you watch that show Westworld 139 about the drone people that serve the existence or serve the purpose of someone else's existence, just remember that show's meant to mock you. Because in the Talmud, it says every goy, the only purpose of our existence, the dumb cattle that we are, is to work and slave so the Jew doesn't have to. You know? And this happened in old Florida. Let me show you what's up with Florida and the Jew. Florida, 43, right? 38? What's Jew? 38, 43? Oh, that must be a coincidence. Remember how I taught you about your exceptions for the 19th letter in the reduction? Let's observe those. Let's observe those in light of Jewish. Jewish 38, Jewish 43. Jew 38, 43. Florida 38, 43. These people make their homes by the numbers. You know, you wonder why there's a false flag in Florida every week. Measure from this hot yoga studio to the Police Mason Lodge, or yeah, I should call it the Police Mason Lodge, the Police Mason Station and the Masonic Lodge. They're both blocks away. Same thing there in Pittsburgh at the old synagogue shooting. Sin. What's the key word in synagogue? Sin? Sin. Must be a coincidence. At the end of the Bible, it says the false Jews, the synagogue of Satan, will rule. Think it was right. Think it was all correct. So yeah. Us for exposing the agenda and the tyranny and the mockery and the hatred that's perpetrated at us, against us. For exposing that, we got the ADL running around right now saying that people like myself belong in jail. All of us should be censored. We should be fined. criminally charged with hate speech. The ADL is literally saying that criticizing Israel, criticizing Zionism, questioning the Holocaust, these are all forms of hate speech and they should be punished. And realize several countries in the world are already this way. They are. They are. How many chips will LeBron win? I might have covered that here. Let's think about something. LeBron's 3-6 in the NBA Finals. Why is LeBron 3-6 in the NBA Finals? 666 is the 36th triangular number. The NBA Finals equals 666. Basketball game equals 666. LeBron being 3-6. We got options here. Remember, Lakers equals 66, LeBron equals 66, LeBron James equals 66, number of the beast equals 66. If LeBron became 6-6 in finals, that would mean that he played in 12, and he could get in there in the ranks with Kobe and Michael by three-peating. Los Angeles equals 37, right? That's the 12th prime. Could LeBron end up in his 12th finals with the Lakers? It won't happen this year. Don't count on it this year. But I talked about all this stuff in July. Go back and watch my videos. You guys are asking me questions I already covered. Learn how to do a search. Tired of repeating myself. Tired of pumping out this awesome content and you guys don't got 5 seconds to go search. Can you cover this? Can you cover this? It's like, again, how many more times I got to cover it for you? Too lazy to do the search? Just wait for what pops up in your feed for today? That's called a goyim. I'll tell you what, all this mockery right here, I'll tell you what I think about all this mockery, by the way. The truth about what I think it's all right. I think they have every right to do this, these people. If I was them, I'd be doing it too, because I know that the masses are a bunch of dumb goyim sheep cattle myself. I don't think it's right that this gang gets away with the tyranny, but I know that they're right about what they think about the masses, because they are a bunch of dumb cattle. They're retarded to the core. They can't see through rig sports. They can't see through demolished towers with dancing Israelis across the street. They can't see that we're taxed, till our bones deteriorate and all of our money's sent to Israel. We can't see nothing, and we all support it and tolerate it like a bunch of dumb goyim. So you guys with your questions often remind me that we are the goyim cattle race, asking me to do the same damn thing every single day. Exactly. We are dumb. People don't care. And when I say we, it's obviously not all of us. I'm not dumb. A lot of you who follow me aren't dumb, but a lot of people who come here and ask these questions are dumb. Hey, can you do this? Again, man? Dude, I have like 50 videos on that topic. I have a book. I got 100 blog posts. You need me to cover something that I have all this content out all over in the world? How about do a search, dude? Brenda Lynn says it starts with college. I'll tell you a story about college real quick. Oh, shit, I have to go. You guys. I'm going to be late, but hold on. Before we go, I'll tell you this story about college. So I had this class. It was called Chemistry and Society. I had to take some science classes. My undergrad's accounting and my master's degree's in education. So anyway, I've been in the college system, but I had this class called Chemistry and Society. And at the beginning of the year, early in the year, the professor, and keep it, I should tell you guys when I was in college. I was in college from 2001 to 2005. That's when I was getting my undergrad. And this was probably 2003. I think I was a sophomore or a junior when I was taking this class. Could have been 2004 at the latest. But I had this professor, and what he liked to talk about all the time was how there was all this false fear in the media about GMOs, and there was no reason to worry about genetically modified foods or organisms because they were as safe as natural and organic. And he would just talk about it all the time. And oftentimes I would raise my hand and say, how can you be so confident that, there's nothing wrong with genetically modified foods? I mean, they're relatively new. There's not a lot of time to research their impact on human development. So how can you be so confident that they're perfectly safe and there should be no concern about it? And he'd get so mad and he'd say, because there's no evidence. And then I'd say, okay, but still, we haven't had enough time to, you know, track the course of human health in light of the age of genetically modified food. I said, you know, our grandparents, our parents' generation, they didn't have this. So don't we need to see a few generations of what happens with the genetically modified food before we can come out and say it's totally safe, or, you know, it's just as good as this? And he would just get so angry. He'd get red in the face. And what was comical to me is, so this probably happened over the course of the semester. Him and I, you know, getting into these little spats in class over this topic probably happened about 5 times. And I've always been that person in the classroom who will raise my hand and speak up when other people won't. And I just won't accept what my teachers tell me just because they say, you know, I know that the authority half the time doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm sure you guys all know that about me. But what I remember about that class is we were on a plus minus system there at ASU, and his class was really easy. I had like 105% in his class, so I should have got an A plus. And I remember when the grades came out. The grades came out for the class. The dude gave me a B minus, and I was like, "Well, wait a minute, man. I have 105% in your class." So I went down to his office and I said, "Hey, the grades came out," and I was on a scholarship, so I couldn't be affording these bad grades. My grades were paid for as long as I maintained my GPA, which I believe had to be above 3.85, something like that. It had to be high. I said, "You gave me a B minus, and I have 105% in your class." I said, "What happened here?" And he looked at it, he goes, "Oh, that must have been a mistake. Sorry." And I was like, we both know that wasn't a mistake, dude. That was your passive aggressive BS for me calling you out with all of your genetically modified rants. And what I wish I would have taken the time to do back then is find out if that guy worked for some big agricultural company, some, you know, chemical pesticide company. I'm sure he did, because a lot of these college professors come from industry. And speaking of which, one more thing I'll tell you, when I was in college, you know, 9/11 happened when I started in college. And I was in the business program, and we had one of our professors, I think it was my sophomore year. I think it was 2002, early in 2002, or maybe fall of 2002. We were like a month into the class, and he let us know that he was leaving the university. He wasn't going to teach anymore because he was going back to being a weapons contractor. And he said there was just too much money to miss out on. So because we're a business program, he's like, "Look, man, this is business right now." He's like, "You guys will have another teacher. I'm leaving because there's a gold mine right now in weapons contracting." And I was just thinking, like, because I was already awake, I was like, look at this crap, man. We've like started this illegal war based on lies. My college professor's leaving the class because he's got to go cash in on the gold mine to make money off the war. I mean, so yeah. College is indoctrination. You're learning from people who are invested in the system, people who benefit from the system, people who are paid a lot by the system. I mean, look at what most college professors do. They publish a new version of their book each year that you have to buy so that they can keep getting their royalties, and then the student has to go out there and buy a book that costs $400. I don't even know what books cost anymore. My business school program books were so expensive. And I had to pay my own bills back then. So I remember book expenses costing over $1,000 for the semester. And I just think, what a joke this is. Like, how much does it cost to print these books? It's probably like $100 in cost here at most. I'm paying $1,000 and something. Give me a break. An art major. I always think it's funny when people are things like art majors. I mean, because it's like, you're an artist. What do you need to go get an education for? You're an artist or you're not. But more power to you. I know how it is. There's a lot of art majors out there. Anyway, guys, I'm running late. I got to be somewhere at 11. It takes me over 20 minutes to drive there, which means I'm going to be there at like 11:10. So I'll be back on tonight after my hike. I told you guys I got a new, I think I got a new edition coming tonight, Token with Tim. If you didn't listen last night, I said that might be the new weekly edition, Token with Tim. So that might be coming tonight, and then I'm supposed to meet up with No More News to talk about the censorship. All right, you guys. Appreciate all the support. Let me look at my phone real quick to see if anybody bought a book. Oh, nope, you guys didn't. All right, you guys, I'm taking notes. This was a charity for you guys. I'm doing all the sports content on Patreon, but I thought I'd throw you non-Patreon members a bone today and see if we get some love for the book, but no love for the book. So I'm going to remember that. I won't be back for a while. I won't be back for a while on this channel. It's going back to all Patreon exclusives. Got to support the people who are investing because we need the revenue here to build the Gematria News Network. Hey, hit that like button at least. You can't get the book, you can hit a like. All right, truth seekers, until next time.